Well, good morning. This is definitely a little bit of a different setup today for a morning walk. I mean, the streets of Rotherham have never looked so good. On a serious note, straight to business and straight to usual routine. Funny enough, I actually got up at pretty much my normal UK time, so it feels like I've actually slept in, but I haven't. Minus a terrible bed in the Airbnb. We're absolutely on the money. So today's session shall be done at either Wellfit, Dungeon or Benews. I don't know, we'll see. But first, morning walk, get on top of work with my guys and girls. Start the day as usual. Good morning. Welcome to today's vlog. What is up, YouTube? Now, today we are in Rotherham Marina, aka Dubai Marina, and we are here for 8 days. Myself and Meg have decided to come and take ourselves away for a little while before we actually start prep. So it's an ideal time now to do this and explore Dubai, explore our options and see if we like it. Now, I'll be honest, Meg actually came last year to sort out a few bits, and she wanted to move. So can't do that, not just yet, until I come over, see what it's like, see if I like it, and then explore our options, right? I mean, we can pretty much live anywhere in the world with what we do. So that's the blessing of being a coach. However, guys, as you all know, coaching is not a part-time job. So if you think you're going to coach so you can live anywhere in the world and think it's easy, you're going to have a reality check when you actually try and do it. Anyway, morning walk is going down, and then I will show you absolutely everything I do today. Full day in the life. What a treat for you all. Now, do me a favor, make sure you like and subscribe to the video, and I'll take you on my little trip in Dubai. I think we're by the marina. I'm not really familiar with the locations just yet, but anyway, I'll continue the vlog when I get back. As you can imagine, I'm a little bit out of breath because I am 278 pounds and I am power walking, and I'm 30 minutes in, so my arm's going dead, my calves are pumped. Time to put the camera down and finish the power walk. Now, haven't started your day with something positive, and you haven't started your day with some activity, I highly advise you do so. Doing this every single day allows me to be more productive and more effective for my guys and girls on the team. So get after it, start your day positive, and make sure you start your day with a win. Breakfast time, so actually back home for breakfast, and my usual breakfast is 160 rice, 3 whole eggs, 125 venison, and a little bit of sauce. We've got tomato ketchup today, and we've got 150 grams of blueberries. So that's the usual setup that we do have at home. So nothing changes, apart from if it was UK time now, I would be eating at 6 a.m. So, right, whoosh. The moment of truth is going to happen in a moment, because so does ketchup.
I don't think I've taken off the thing. Sorry.
That would have been me sat here for 10 minutes.
Oh, I'm sweaty feet.
Trying to. You sweating?
I've got sweaty feet. Did I say that loud?
She got sweaty feet. My smile. Right feet.
Not my feet.
Right. Sorry, I've not weighed the ketchup. Normally I actually do weigh my sauces out, but because I roughly know how much 15 grams is, That's pretty much it.
I'd say that's more like 10 grams than 50
That's probably
grams.
10 grams anyway. Have you put salt in it?
I have, yeah. And I did 8 grams worth of
8
salt for
grams
the
of
day.
salt for the day, yeah. Perfect. Right.
Moment
What
of
truth.
We don't know if he's actually being kind. However, he's not with his blueberries, and usually he gets angry at his blueberries because usually they're under a gram. They're actually 151 today, so I couldn't split it because it was a frozen one at the time.
Beautiful. Right guys, I'm gonna eat this. Then I'll probably take a little walk. We will probably have to take a little walk to get me some trousers.
No, someone's bringing you some trousers, don't you worry
Some
about it.
trousers, yeah?
Yeah,
You spoke to him?
next Saturday.
Okay, Meg's sorting me out, so all I've got to do now is go for a little walk, then get to work. So you'll get to see that, as Meg's actually going to kindly film it today. So, and she's going to decide what we're going to try.
Oh, you've got push. You probably want to turn it first. Okay, right, I'm going to go make my meal.
Hello. What are you having?
My normal meal one.
What's your normal meal on?
225 grams of egg whites, 2 whole eggs, 100 grams of mixed veg, peppers and mushrooms, and then 200 grams, well, micro-tracked sourdough crumpets to my bread, because they didn't deliver my bread, they delivered sourdough crumpets, but the actual fat content is the same as Jason's in the UK. And I haven't had a crumpet probably since I was...
I'm probably going to have the crumpets later on. That were my last meal. Have they got wild salmon?
It's very similar, yeah.
So is it wild or not?
Yeah, I mean it's as red as it could be.
Better be. Right. Get the kitchen fully stocked. Got all the waters. Beautiful. We're set. Right, everywhere I go, we've got the artillery. So we've got all of my Trained by JP subs. The only thing I really messed up on and forgot was my Digest Pharma Pro. So I'm probably gonna have to get a generic digestive aid from some shop somewhere. But anyway, I've got my morning pills ready to take in and start the day. So I'm gonna get these down, try and get them down in one, and then I'll do a little walk, get back home and get to work. So we're gonna go on a little walk, team walk. Now, why am I walking again? I always like to do a couple of minute walk after meal one, and then I'll get back and get stuck straight back to work. And Meg's just had her meal, so she's gonna join me for once. Normally after meal one, I would actually be making her breakfast, but today, when we do go away, the roles reverse a little bit, so she has to do a little bit more because I get a little bit paralysed, I'm not gonna lie. Or is it just an excuse? Let me know below if it's just an excuse or not. No, pee. Right. We good?
We're good.
She's, I definitely need to open my tam game because she's looking mahogany and I'm looking like a big pasty Polak.
And obviously now she's eating all this veg and got a whole health supplementation in a good start.
Exactly where you should be, in the fucking kitchen. I'm just kidding. Continue. Part one of meal two. We've got prawns, rice, and then we do have some pineapple and banana there. So get this down. Just getting chauffeured round by Latif. Do you want to join me on my YouTube?
Hi.
Latif. There we go. So where I'm actually going now, you're not actually able to wear shorts. So I do have someone's trousers on. I've got no idea whose, but they actually fit. So cargo pants, actually pretty decent. I might buy them off him. Anyway, the weather is pretty decent. I actually expected it to be way warmer. It's not too bad, so I can bear it. Today, I might go and train at Venus, throw myself in the deep end, but we'll see. We'll see where the wife wants to go as well. So, get this sorted first, get back, get my pre-workout meal in, and then it's game time. Mike kindly prepared my pre-workout meal as I was on the road, and I'm not going to lie, it's actually really good, so well done. We've got 100 grams of white chocolate coconut cream of rice, 50 grams of rice, which just gives it a little bit more texture and less volume, 40 grams of white isolate. We've got 50 grams of pineapple and 50 grams of banana, because I have been having a little bit more pineapple and half a banana in a meal too. So this makes my pre-workout meal volume very, very small. So 350 mils of water in that, and it's about 170 grams of carbs total. And we do have 15 grams of dates as well. And we actually went to a shop earlier, and the dates here are not only better, like the legit dates, they're actually much cheaper. So some things I think are more expensive. Some things are probably a little bit cheaper. Just depends on where you buy it. And I just let one of the gentlemen that was delivering water in, and he told me that Amazon have got an offer in on water today. So he said to order it off Amazon because it'll be a lot cheaper. So there's like offers all the time. So when it comes to actual cost of living, I think it's very much comparable to what we spend in UK. Would you say?
It's cheaper. It's cheaper than. It's pretty similar to what for us. Yeah, it'd be a lot cheaper if somebody was living in a big city.
So pre-workout meal time, and then we'll probably go for a coffee, or we'll have the coffee here. We'll decide. I've still got a little bit of work to catch up on. Luckily, because the guy that was looking after me was pretty quiet in the car, I was able to actually catch up on some work in the car as well. So I've been quite efficient today, which makes it good. But anyway, I'm gonna eat this. Definitely ready to eat a pre-workout meal. The timing is a little bit different today, so I'm a little bit thrown off because we've gone forward in time. But anyway, I'll eat this and we'll crack on. Whoa, I'll tell you what, you're not going to be able to drive here because you will crash the car almost immediately.
I drove the whole time I was here on my own.
I'm only joking. I thought, do you know what? This still isn't anywhere near as bad to when we actually drove in Italy. In Italy, it's mental. It's literally like bumper cars. So you have to be almost Formula One trained to be able to drive in Italy and not crash. It's mental. I remember going Rome, and when people was parking up, I legit saw people like reversing, bump the car, go forward, bump the car in front, and like keep bumping back and forth. I was like, am I seeing this? Or is this really happening? Anyway, we are going to Venus Gym because we're only 16 minutes away from Venus, and whilst we are here, I want to scope out a few different gyms for us to train at, so we can actually mimic our training program as much as possible to what I am currently doing at home. Obviously, I will proudly say that no gym in Dubai actually matches what we offer in terms of equipment, and I will say that hands on. It's just not even comparable. But I want to see what Venus is like. So we're going deep end. My first time in Dubai. Meg's already been numerous times, but this is my first time. So I'm going in deep, and I'm going into the biggest gym in the entire, it's not biggest gym in the world. It's probably not, is it?
No, I think that the oxygen one's bigger, isn't it?
Maybe. Anyway, one of the biggest gyms in the world and the biggest gym in Dubai. So the plan will be to train here today, and then likely Maiden Well Fit tomorrow, because they do have my favourite prime row. And then we will train at Dungeon for legs the day after, and then the next push session we'll probably do at Dungeon as well. And then maybe the second pull day we'll do here at Beams again, and then final leg day at Dungeon. So that'll be the plan for the week. I'm pretty sure, guys, you'll get to see some of the bits and the stories and enjoy the show. We had our pre-workout meal about an hour ago. We had our coffees, so we are all ready and caffeinated and ready to go. And I'll be honest, so far, I quite like Dubai. It's
You're wrong side of the road.
very much chilled. I think what surprised me the most as well is when I was walking this morning, everyone's super happy, and like everyone's actually saying hello to me and almost like going out of the way to be nice to me, which is great. But we'll see if my impression changes, but so far definitely won't. So far I think pleasantly surprised, so let's get it. We'll show you what it's like in Binu soon.
Yes, because when we do a lot of cardio and a lot of flexion, you are pushing a lot of inflammation and stress on the blood. So the most you are putting stress.
Right, post-workout meal. We've got 60 grams ISO Pro, 150 blueberry, 30 grams of Cocoa Pops, 150 cream of rice. And Smeg has a massive bowl of cream of rice and Rice Krispies.
Rice Krispies, Cocoa Pops.
Same thing.
Same.
But different. Good session?
Great session. How about yours?
Tremendous. It's actually much better than expected. Review pending.
What did you think about Bernice?
Review pending.
Oh, okay.
First, we eat the meal.
But I've tried on you, and I asked you if you remember, like 6 months prior to recommend me some gym level pieces. I have 6 pieces from them. Some chest presses, the standing chest press, the seated chest press, pendulum squat, hip press, and some other I don't remember now. But the whole picture is that I have all of these machines in a warehouse that I rent, a small place, because I wasn't ready to get into a big investment like a gym investment.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. The thing that really, I also have to balance out personal life as well. Probably you might.
So, nothing changes. Routine stays the same. Meg is finishing her last meal, and my last meal is done. So I'm going to show you what we have for supper / the final meal, meal 6. I'll cap off the video tomorrow. Meal 6, usual. Wild salmon smoked with some tomato, a little bit of veg, a little bit of sauce, sourdough bread, and health subs. So we'll eat this, go to bed, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Well, a couple of clients needed a call this morning on my morning walk around Rotherham Marina, which is looking pretty damn good. Anyway, what was the topic of the conversation? It was comparison to a degree, and more so, I wouldn't say grief for progression, but lack of appreciation for progress. At times, our mind can be our own biggest and worst enemy, where we often overlook and don't appreciate the progress and position we are in. And that's the conversation I had to have with a client this morning. In prep, they are in a tremendous spot, but they are almost creating a negative situation in their own mind through simply wanting to get ahead of themselves, which is good in a way, but it's not good if it's going to put you in a negative mindset and a negative place. Now, where we have to flip that mindset and the switch upside down is appreciation of where we are, and then looking forward to the work ahead. Yes, we can always improve. Yes, we can always be better, but it's a process, and you're not going to get better by dwelling on what ifs and dwelling on the things that are outside of your control. You are going to get better at doing the work and perfecting the things that are within your control. Food for thought for today. Let's get it. This is going to be a fun one because there is a lot of evidence-based practitioners and there's a lot of educators that are recently talking about artificial sweeteners and the use of them and how they can be applied and considerations around artificial sweetener use. And I am going to preface this call by saying I am not against artificial sweetener use whatsoever. I'm not. However, what I am against is an approach that a lot of people can sometimes take when it comes to trying to cheat hunger through the use of artificial sweeteners and foods that are just not real foods. So today you are going to get full lowdown of what we see both in research, but what we also see in real world scenarios and in true application with myself, my clients, my experience, what I've seen firsthand happen in a prep scenario and in an off-season scenario with real client stories and real client experience. So guys, let's talk a little bit about practical application and what I have personally seen firsthand with clients. And I'm going to give you example number one of my old client Chelsea, and a lot of my clients still ask about this because she was a bikini athlete, tremendous potential. We won a lot of shows together and she was always a foodie, right? And we know what that means when someone says they're a foodie. When someone says they're a foodie, they are simply enjoying their food, right? They're not an actual foodie, it's just bodybuilding turns most people into foodies. So I was racking my brains thinking, right, this girl normally gets lean very easily. Her prep wasn't really moving the way I wanted to. Her body looked inflamed. She looked like she was holding quite a lot of water. No matter what dietary change we made, she wasn't actually progressing and she wasn't actually getting leaner. After some deeper investigation, we found out that she was using a lot, and I mean a lot, of the low calorie, claiming sugar-free, calorie-free syrups on her food. And I kid you not guys, upon the removal of all of them, she probably dropped 4 pounds in the first week, 5 pounds the following week, and then the prep just started to move with ease. So conclusion, right? And I'm going to go into a little bit more deeper detail on this in today's call, but conclusion is this: nothing is truly calorie free. If you add enough of a product that claims they're calorie free but they are not, you could potentially be adding 100, 200, 300 calories per day, especially as you do get hungrier and as you do try to volumize your food with these products. Sometimes you may simply just be adding calories, right? Secondly, if you use it, you may not get any issues. If you abuse the use of sweeteners, that is when you can experience digestive issues and GI health decline. When we do see this, that is generally when your ability to digest and process the food starts to diminish. Now, my second client experience that I want to show you and I want to talk to you about today is my client Billy. Actually, we got to the peak of his off season and he was using a substantial amount of just enough sweeteners, just in his food, a little bit in his food, and some cream of rice, etc. And his appetite and digestion was completely shot. He wasn't able to get the food in, he felt sluggish, appetite wasn't great, and he just felt like food wasn't going down. And that's very unlike Billy. Like, Billy can normally eat no matter what, very much like myself. And the process of elimination started with cutting out the cream of rice first, then cutting out all of the sweeteners apart from the whey that he was using. And lo and behold, after a week and a half, not only his midsection came in by probably about 1.5 inches, it was a massive visual difference, but his appetite also increased tenfold, and so did his digestion. So as you can see, guys, Diet Coke and give it to the children. I think that's just a massive flaw in just general education when it comes to just general nutrition in most general public. So remember guys, sweeteners are always going to be better than full sugar. When you have a full fat Diet Coke that's just loaded with sugar and chemicals, I know I would probably prefer either my kids or my friends' kids to have the no calorie version with just sweeteners in it. It still has the chemicals, just no sugar. So it's a no-brainer. Now, full fat drinks versus calorie free drinks. What is better? Now, common sense would always say Coca-Cola Zero. However, in a lot of Gen Pop population, because of social media and because of studies that are often, again, sponsored and bought by the beverage companies, people don't quite have an understanding that one product has almost 200 calories and the second product has 0 calories. When you are drinking these calories, they give you absolutely no satiety. All you get is a massive sugar spike, a big sugar rush, and another hidden ingredient in most calorie-free drinks is caffeine. Because combining that sugar and caffeine is going to make you feel good. When you feel good drinking something or eating something, your body almost, I wouldn't say gets addicted, but you do crave that over and over again. And it's almost like the association that you begin to have with feeling good and that product becomes stronger. So you need to really be mindful of the strategies that these companies actually take to get these people almost hooked on these products because of the way the products make them feel. And I know it's only minor, and I know it's something that's very much gentle and subtle with what it does to you, but it can still make a massive difference. And my friend actually works with clinically obese people, trying to help them from a nutrition standpoint, and you would not believe the amount of people that are literally on the verge of dying that will not move from a full fat drinks to 0 drinks. And I mean, they're drinking liters and liters of it a day, like 4 or 5 liters of Coke, full fat. So as you can imagine, all they would have to do is switch to 0, and they would probably lose a crazy amount of pounds if using products which are truly not calorie free. So you need to read the labels extensively if you're unsure. Products by law can actually hide and lower the real nutritional values that are in the product. UK, it's around 10 to 15%. USA, it's a larger margin. So you need to be mindful of that. Now, the mantra that I like to use that's mostly fitting for anything that we use in life is use it and do not abuse it. Diet sodas and calorie-free products are there for you to use and enjoy. However, if you are abusing them, they will likely impact your progress one way or another, whether it's digestion or driving up your food focus at that much of a degree where you're unable to adhere to the plan. So just be mindful of that. Now, you need to consider your digestion and gut health. A small amount of sweeteners daily likely won't have any impact. If then you begin to have a large amount of stevia in your coffee, then a diet drink or a Monster, and then more stevia, more diet drinks, more Monsters during the day, it can all add up. One of the most popular products in the world is probably Monster Energy Drink. It is the most damaging product I have seen in my entire coaching career when it comes to digestion. Unfortunately, it really is. I have had numerous clients that was drinking 2-3 cans a day, and upon removing it, the difference to their digestion and general bloat was substantial. So just be mindful of that, guys. If you do enjoy a Monster, I think it's probably wise to have maybe 1 a day or try and limit it to like 5 per week, rather than having multiple cans per day. Now, consider hunger and potential drive to be increased through addition of sugar-free products. Potentially, for some people, it may actually have a backward effect where, yes, they do have that sense of enjoyment, but the drive to eat is much higher. My personal recommendation for artificial sweetener use. Use the same condiments year round in the same quantities. Limit your calorie-free soda intake to 1 to 2 per day. So this could be between 600 mils up to a litre depending on the product. I think that's sensible, and I still think that's on the higher side. Track all source intake to keep it consistent and constant. For me personally, it's 10 grams of low calorie source per meal, and I do account these calories into my daily totals. Another consideration is the sodium that you may be taking in from these products may elevate your sodium intake for the day. So if you're close to the contest close to the contest, that may actually have an impact. No additional calorie-free products to be added at any point in prep off season due to an increase in hunger, digestion, and drive to eat, and consistency in food volume and sodium intake. So if you do enter a prep and you have your set amount of condiments that you're already taking in, as you get hungrier, do not try to cheat hunger by adding more in. It might actually have a little bit of a negative impact on your prep or even assessment of your body weight and the visuals. I'm not saying you will gain weight off the back of them, no, but it can actually skew our ability to assess the physique effectively. If digestive issues become apparent, remove all sweeteners and troubleshoot. Have a period where you go cold turkey, allow your digestion to come back in check, and then reintroduce them back in slowly. Guys, most of these links that I have included in the call come from Mental Health Summons. Can you hear that? The beauty of silence. I mean, this gives me back the vibes when I actually trained at gym in lockdown and music was off. It's beautiful. If I had it my way, music would always be off. But we have to always please the people and members, right? Now, I had a question from a client today. He actually sent me over someone's post, and he asked, why do they have to do so much cardio and eat so little food when they are bodybuilders of substance? So even some of the bigger guys, right? There's a common thing that I see with the guys that have to suffer the most in prep and have to take things really low and do an extremely high amount of cardio. And it's super simple. And look, I want to preface this with everyone does have a lot bit of variance when it comes to metabolism, and that is going to vary person to person a lot. However, the most common thing that I see is generally how this person approaches their off season with the nutrition, with the general activity levels, training, and how consistent they are on a weekly basis, monthly basis, and a yearly basis. And why yearly? Because this is a process that should not be treated like an on and off button when it comes to your phases. If you want to really switch it off in your off season and not live the life, that's completely fine, but you have to prepare for one, having to suffer much more in prep than generally you would if you actually committed and did the job and tick the boxes in your off season. This is why majority of my clients don't do cardio. They don't have to use excessive fat burners. They don't have to suffer. They don't have to really push to that degree. And generally they don't feel like they're in prep until the last 4 to 5 weeks, if that. And that's how it should be, really. If you do plan and prepare and execute each phase with accuracy. And this is the most common thing that you will see with myself and all of my clients. We do not miss a beat. And this is where I do see guys and girls have massive success with the journey in bodybuilding, but also I pride myself on taking that intent, that discipline, and applying that in other areas of my life. And I do feel like I'm able to share that with my clients. And generally, this is where we do thrive in every single phase, because we do the work that's required to bring the success that's needed. Now, the fact is, if you actually do the work, if you eat all of your meals, and if you eat to your needs without having a food festival every weekend, Do your cardio in the off season if you need it. Again, only in off season. You tick the boxes, you train hard, you stay consistent, and most importantly, you have a good schedule, good routine. You don't need anything to improve your mitochondria because it will already be efficient. So your body will be primed and ready to go. So sometimes, guys, instead of looking at drugs to make things easier and make prep somewhat more tolerable, you maybe need to look at what you actually do. Because I can promise you, yes, some of you may have to suffer more than others, but generally, you don't have to suffer if you tick the boxes correctly and you prep yourself correctly. Make sure that you prioritize good quality nutrition, prioritize your schedule, prioritize your sleep, same bedtime, same wake time, uphold your NEAT, add cardio if you need to, short duration so it doesn't actually take away from your training, prioritize good quality food, eat to your needs, don't get fat, and slowly take up your body weight over time. That's the best way to go. I'm getting filmed. This is like it's like Inception. Right, my guys, that's Dubai trip over. I'm shit at doing this vlog thing, but I am going to maybe cover a little bit of this airport. It's mind-blowing. Now, I have included some snippets that you might get some value from the video for today, and I do hope you enjoy it. But I will do my best to try and deliver a little bit better content moving forward. And I will try and do my best to do a little bit more vlogging, as I do feel like a lot of you prefer the vlogs. So if you do like the vlogs, comment vlog below and I shall deliver. Anyway, I will do more of my monthly Q&As on YouTube, especially for the guys that have subscribed. So all you have to do, guys, is basically just comment and subscribe, and I'll answer all of your questions. What an experience. It's my first time in Dubai, and it exceeded my expectations. So a lot to think about, right? Now, one thing I've noticed is people are actually living here. They're not just surviving. Everyone's super nice, everyone's super helpful. It's an uplifting environment to be in. And I think a lot of people have got this idea that Dubai's pretentious, and it can be, but so can London, so can Rotherham, well, minus Rotherham, so can London, so can Manchester. In UK, you can have these areas that are pretentious and all about money and all about the materialistic things, but here, I have found probably more culture than most of the regions in the UK, because people here are genuinely a little bit different in a good way. Everyone appreciates bodybuilding a little bit more as well. I mean, I went to the fountains just by the Burj Khalifa, and I felt like it was an expo. I had about 50 people who wanted to ask a picture with me, and I look like a melted candle at the moment in my last week of Hell Phase, so it's a great experience, I'm not gonna lie. So back to the updates. I thought I would treat myself to an upgraded flight. Jesus Christ, it's unbelievable. The facilities here are just another level, and it's not really worked out that much more expensive either, which is nuts, really, when you think about it. For the value that you get, it's absolutely insane. So, plan of action now. My flight is in 45 minutes. I'm going to get onto my client check-ins, and hopefully I can finish them, most of them, before I actually board, as I've done some already this morning before morning walk, so I only have about 10 left. So I've got an hour to maybe get them finished, but if not, there should be Wi-Fi on the flight and I'll be able to continue working whilst I'm on air. So should be sweet, but very painless travel as well, traveling here, which makes me happy, because generally whenever I travel anywhere, it's it's a big pain in the ass, and I think they've done an amazing job to make it as pain-free as you physically can have it. So it's incredible. Now, another thing, and I mean, people don't expect to get paid for anything either here. When they help you, we arrived at the airport, we had a lot of bags between us, and straight away someone came over, unloading the car, and I was like, wow. Obviously gave him a little bit of change, gave him a little bit of money, but he didn't actually expect anything. He just did it with a smile on his face. Now in UK, you'd have to pay for help, and they wouldn't do it with a smile on the face. And look, I'm not trying to put UK down. I just think sometimes some people do lack mindset, positive mindset, especially now with what's going on with the government. I think there's a lot of people that are not, I won't say miserable, but they're not really happy. So anyway, check this out. That's it's pretty stunning. You've got like little beds here. You've got proper beds other side. You've got like a proper computer station as well. We can use a printer and stuff for work. But anyway, I found this little spot here that I'm going to work in. Water, tea, decaf, obviously. I've got little beds there and there. If I can get time for a nap. Anyway, I'll get to work and I'll continue in due course. Right, my guys, the vlog continues and we are back home, back in my office, back in the lab, back getting after it in my comfort of my own home and my office. It's feeling fucking good, I'm not gonna lie. It's as you can probably hear from my voice, this workspace makes me incredibly happy because the second I sit in this chair, I'm on it. The brain functions completely different. Now, the reason why I want to jump on here now quickly and share this with you is I've just done a client check-in, and he actually said he's one of the highest rated employees, and he's super happy as to how much he can actually use bodybuilding to improve all the areas of his life. And this is something that I see very common with people, and uncommon to some people, because if you can use the good habits that bodybuilding actually forces you to have and apply that in all of your life aspects, your work, your relationships, everything you do, you will become extremely successful if you are the disciplined type and if you are the type that does the work. So food for thought, guys. You apply yourself, you do the work, and success is inevitable. It really is.